Welcome to a Borderless Arts Tennessee Teapot Diplomat mini workshop. Typically, our workshops are led by a professional artist who teaches participants new art techniques. However, in this workshop, things are a little different. What I'm going to be doing is providing you with some ideas, some brainstorming. And then after you listen to these ideas, you are to create a piece of art using whatever art technique you wish. It could be an art technique that you learned in one of our other workshops, or just one that you know on your own. The art that you create is then going to be part of a digital art show and also up for competition. So let's look a little bit about this project, which is called Let Your Imagination Take Flight. The art that you create can be a photograph that you take. It can be a painting using watercolors, acrylic, any type of painting you wish to use. It can be a drawing, digital art, or it can be a 3D item. All of the art must have a theme of flight. You can submit no more than 2 pieces into this show competition. The way that you will submit into the show competition is to take a photo of the art. Now, obviously, if the art is a photo, just send the original photo. So you will send a photo to borderlessartstn@gmail.com no later than 5 p.m. on February 11th. The art will be judged and there'll be ribbons and certificates presented. We will also choose up to 20 pieces. So there will be up to 20 pieces. We are not sure that we will choose exactly 20 pieces, but we will choose no more than 20 pieces, which will be shown digitally at the Nashville Airport on March the 29th. So let's talk about, what do we mean by flight? What could your theme be as far as your art? Well, your theme could be about an airplane. You could think of the inside of an airplane, such as the cockpit. Or you could think of the outside of an airplane. You could draw an entire airplane, or you might want to focus on a particular aspect, such as a rudder or the wing of the plane. So you can look at one aspect or look at the airplane in its entirety. You could look at old airplanes or new airplanes or ideas of airplanes that don't exist yet. That is one idea of flight. Flight can also be animals. And normally we think of birds when we think of animals with flight. And that's obviously a wonderful subject matter for this particular project. However, if you think of the ocean and of rivers and lakes, a lot of the animals in the water seem to be flying through the water. Here's an example with a turtle, but also think of the manta rays and the way they look. It looks as though they are flying when they're going through the water. Other animals can seem the same way. So you can think of animals in the air. You can think of animals in the water. You can also think of our smaller animals, such as insects. Butterflies are obviously a perfect example, but there's also bees and wasps and ladybugs and many types of insects that fly. You can think of people. Many times in our everyday life, it looks as though we are flying. Dancers can look as though they're flying when they're taking a leap. Also, a basketball player when they go up to make a dunk, or a football player when they go up to make a catch. Also, we can think of people in flight, such as an astronaut, when that's their job, to do flying. So you could do your art about people. Plants also fly. We see many times the seeds of plants flying through the air, especially in the spring. Also, the leaves fly off of the trees. So you can also think of the flight of plants. You could also use items from plants, such as you could use leaves in creating your art. And going back to animals, you could use feathers in creating your art. Flight can be imagination. So you can think of, what does imagination look like to you? And how does it help you soar? And here's some other thoughts as far as flight. I've always loved hot air balloons. So photos of hot air balloons or drawing pictures or paintings of hot air balloons, the colors are gorgeous. You also could do a collage. You could take cloth and create your own hot air balloon out of different cloth of putting it together. Kites are also wonderful, especially in March. That's when winds pick up and many people go out and fly a kite. You could make a kite and take a picture of it. Or once again, you could draw a picture or create one digitally, or just take a picture of a special kite. Or you could take different types of construction paper, different types of colored tissue paper, or even different types of fabric and create a kite on a canvas. And then feathers. I always think feathers are wonderful. You could just do a picture about feathers or art about feathers. You could have various types of feathers on your canvas, or you could take pictures of various feathers, or you could make some other type of art using feathers. Wouldn't it be cool to make a dancer who is in a leap with feathers, as though the dancer was a bird flying through the air? Just a thought. So let your imagination take flight. Have fun, be creative, and show us what flight means to you. You can go back through this video and look at some of the examples again. Write down some things that really stand out to you, things that were of interest to you that I may have brought up, and then pick the one that speaks to you the most and create your art. And remember to send it in by February 11th at 5 p.m. Really looking forward to seeing all of the creativity that you create and how your imagination gives you flight.